Hey YouTube, Bricksmith, and welcome to Forever Sorting with Kevin and Hinkle. Episode 16, 17, 18, 11.
Oh no! Don't start confusing everybody.
No, I don't remember which one it is.
I think we're 16.
Is it 16?
I think so.
All right. Is this the one from that one time? I'm not sure what's happening, Kevin. I got you on the big screen, by the way.
Hey, folks! Thanks for coming again.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us for another tale. As always, that's Bricksmith.
Hey.
I'm Kevin. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for having an interest in listening to us talk about me for the most part.
Yeah.
But believe me, guys, there's a longer game plan at hand. It will not be forever about me.
I think it should be, and I took you off the big screen because whatever.
Because you just vetoed me.
This is episode 17, and
Ooh,
we got
17,
a sponsor,
okay.
Kevin.
We did.
Today was brought to you. Today's Forever Sorting was brought to you by Heineken.
Officially, that's
Drink
wonderful.
responsibly, 21 and up, unless you're in Germany.
Did you already open it? Did you already crack it open?
What do you think, Kevin? Do you want?
There it is. All right.
Yeah, baby, that's the sound of A Fall Dreams.
That is definitely the sound. How's everybody doing? Thanks for coming back again. Hopefully you enjoyed.
Again and again.
And hey, and you guys keep listening, so we'll keep making it. And
yeah, we will.
Thanks again. For those that have not been around from the first, you may want to go back and listen to some of our older episodes. But my name is Kevin. If you have any interest in following me outside of this wonderful broadcast, you can find me on all social media platforms at Mr. Kevin Hinkle. You can go to my website, kevinhinkle.com. And if you have interest in following my artwork and my craft, I'm a freelance artist. That would be Mr. Hinkle Draws. And that does include YouTube. As of last night, my brand new channel has crossed the 100 subscriber threshold. So pretty excited. Thank you for those that have subscribed. I have lots more content coming. And
Kevin, it's also December 23rd.
Nice.
By date of air.
That's how we are so on the ball. We know exactly when you're going to watch this. That's actually right now. It's December 23rd right now.
Right. It's the exact moment, yeah.
Which is incredible. I mean, my birthday is tomorrow, so that's pretty incredible. So, yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back.
So last time we were in a cool, maybe that's the wrong word. We were in an interesting place because my buddy Dan was able to join us.
Yay, Dan.
And so he did a really good job at setting the stage for me, transferring to a new store. And you know what? I've put a lot of thought into this over the last week or so since that episode. And I have to thank you, Bricksmith, because I appreciate the perspective you gave at the end. But I think it was near the end, the trail end. And you were like, you know what? Tell us a little bit about Mary. And you know what? Honestly, I do appreciate that. I mean, that, all I know is what I know flying into a scenario. I'm like, here I am. And my experience with that lady has always just been, man, that's the lady that made my transition so incredibly difficult. She was very standoffish against me.
Well, I wasn't trying to I wasn't trying to throw you under the bus or make you feel bad or anything like that. I just, what Mary? I mean, because I heard him a couple of times say Mary was a hard worker. Mary was there since day one. Mary had a second job. Mary had a little lamb. I didn't know what to think.
Her face was white as snow. No, I did not feel that way at all. I don't
blame you.
I was just like, man, that's some deep thoughts with Bricksmith. That's the hashtag. But thank you, because that made me, hey, that's what it's about. It's about, forgiveness, and I'm like, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
So thank you for that moment.
Hey, man, no problem. That's I used to hang out at a tattoo parlor all the time, and I used to be the sounding board of reason, or the moral compass for the whole place.
I love it. That's awesome.
You guys would look at me. Should I do this tattoo for a handful of pills? I'm like, no. Children need food.
No, you should not. Bricksmith says no. And before I get too much further, I am continuing my disassembly. So I'm going to show my. I've got sets that I've been building some of them I hadn't finished taking apart, so I'm still just kind of.
You and Mario have the same level of your face showing right now. That's phenomenal.
We have the same what?
The amount of face showing.
Yahoo! Yeah, nice. I can't have that. All right, there we go.
There, that's much better.
So I'm just gonna be, as we talk, I'm still just taking things.
Is that a burp? Is that a burp in there? Which burp is that?
Oh, I mean, we've got like the top.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one.
The tops.
I like those.
These were from the Shinkai submarine. So there they are.
Yeah, because that's what you need when you have a submarine.
It's the coral or whatever. Look at this. There's a Batman in a yellow lantern suit.
Yeah, that's a special one. Go ahead and rip that up right now, please. Just go ahead and tear it apart.
There you go.
There it is. Rip the hands out, tear off the arms.
I'll do that later.
Legs out. What? Hey, Kevin, real quick.
I swear. What?
If you take the hands out, and that's part of the artistic license that you take on said bricks.
Oh goodness.
Why don't you rip the arms out, the hands out, and rip the legs off?
So okay. Now the arms and the legs are a heck of a lot harder to remove. So not impossible. Not impossible.
Lazy.
And no, it's not. Here's the thing is I actually do fairly often. I just did this the other day where I do need to swap the arms too on minifigures. Like,
oh sure. Like, I mean, if you're switching hands, arms come. Yeah, it's a natural concurrence.
A lot of times it's for like a sleeveless person, or where I need the right torso color but a different arm color. So I will be popping out arms quite a bit. That actually, oddly enough, I do that a lot. The legs, man, those are hard. I mean, it hurts my fingertips to try to take the legs out. You know why I don't do it? Because I'll break the legs. Yeah, that's the thing too. I mean, it's not really meant to be constantly changed out like that on the legs.
But what about the hands? They lose their connectivity real quick.
The hands?
The ones I ever played with, they get real loose and goosey. But hey, again, I'm extra. I broke Hogwarts. I'm building Hogwarts over here.
You're an aggressive player.
I'm a heavy-handed SOB.
There also, it is.
I do have a shout out. I figured it out. It was Butt Chop.
Nice.
He likes to, and I don't know if he was joking or not, because when he said it, I was like, oh, that's just the silliest thing I ever heard. But then I was building and I was doing what he was saying. He likes to rage build.
He builds mad?
And I was building mad the other day, and it was so much fun.
Oh, you know what? Actually, this just reminds. I'm sorry, we're on a little bit of a tangent from our normal program. So I was going through some older items in my collection.
Where from?
There's a reason. Hold on.
Right.
I was going through some older items, and I came across some of my Lego books, like officially Lego licensed books.
Oh.
Which is where like the Batman figure that was from a.
Oh, the DK. Yeah. Love the DK books.
So I went through a book that's like crazy contraptions, something like that. It's like science fairy projects for kids. Official Lego licensed book.
Yeah, I think I've seen what you're talking about.
It came with some parts. It came with a little bit, and I go, you know what? Why am I keeping these parts in this book? I should take them out and put them in my collection. And so I opened it up, and the weirdest thing, I've never seen this. Like these came in there, like this, assembled together. Like all 5 of these. But they were put together in the bag.
That's crazy talk.
These red Technic beams.
Yeah.
They had a plate. I don't know, something like this is too long, like a 2x6 or something.
Yeah.
They were all put exactly together like this in the bag, in the book.
No.
Like this. And I said that, like, I thought it was a giant Technic brick that I've never seen before.
Right.
And I pulled it out of the bag, and this is a factory sealed bag inside the book.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. There's a plate holding these together. And that's so weird.
That is weird.
And then this thing came out, I was like, that is the most bizarre packaging job I've ever seen. So I don't know what's up with that. It makes me
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've had this occurrence of built brick in anything that Lego has made, let us know in the comments below, or as I like to have you make a video on it. Because here's the thing, and I'm going to get on a soapbox real quick. If you're part of the Lego community and you have a YouTube channel, and if you are watching this, if you have a Gmail account, you have it. I feel like the AFOL and TFOL community of the Lego world needs to be aware of how many people we're really strong out here, and they need to take notice that we're here.
For sure. Stand up. Be counted.
Oh, sorry.
We're gonna turn this into a beatboxing episode.
Don't try me. I have a child in the 80s.
Wait, maybe if we get 50 likes on this video, we'll do a beatboxing episode.
Oh, we'll do whatever they want us to do. I'll go topless to the next one.
Okay, I think that's not going to help our cause.
I didn't have my camera on.
Guys, I'm shooting this video, and
how about 50 likes for me to keep it on?
There we go. There it is. The challenge has been laid.
Yeah.
So I just thought, I was reminded seeing those red Technic beams that was a really bizarre thing.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I like to hear things like that nature.
And and another thing, because I don't do it very often these days.
Yeah.
I bought some Lego this week.
Shut the front door.
I did. I don't do it really as much as I used to. I bought.
Oh my God, you got them too? Go to hell.
I got two. Of them.
It's a 3-in-1. Why'd you only buy 2?
Well, because I figured it was worth getting to. I don't know.
So everybody, he's got a poly bag.
Poly bag.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What's your policy on the poly bags?
That's a Lego set.
Huh?
That's a Lego set. I'll open that.
No. It's a bone of contention. It's not like nobody fights over it, but everybody has their different way of collecting their poly bags. You have certain people who will get as many of the same poly bags as they can. Definitely open up one. You have other people that will get 2, one for posterity and one to open. And then you'll have people like me. I'm ripping through all of them unless it's got some sentimental and it's super rare.
Yeah.
What's your policy on poly bags?
I treat them just like a box. So if it's a Lego set, it's going to be built, of course.
Yeah.
If I have an extra one, I won't build both. I'm not going to do that. But so like this one, I was going to build one and then just part the other one out into the collection.
Really?
Yeah. If I could have my dream, here's the thing. Here's a silly thing.
All right.
If money was no object and space was no object, and I would ideally want 2 of everything. Not for the I want to keep one and then build one. Like I feel like a lot of the piece counts and sets even out a little bit better if you have 2.
Okay.
And so if I could, like I said, if money was no object, if space was no object, I would always aim to have 2 of everything.
There you go, folks.
Sometimes I can do that if it's cheap or good sale or whatever, but obviously I don't have 2 Falcons. I don't have 2, there's a lot of big sets I don't have 2 of. But that is a lesson I learned from my mentor, Mr. James Folds, who was the guy that brought me onto the community team in 2011. He was very proud of his many years of calculation, both within the community and within the company. And he said to always buy, in terms of mocking and amassing parts for your collection and for building your own unique stuff, he said always try to buy in multiples of 2, because the part counts will always come out better for you, and you won't have uneven amounts of parts for things. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he was pretty adamant. He's like, no, I've been doing this for a lot of years. And so he was always trying to get 2 or 4 of everything.
Oh, my.
And he was pretty successful very often.
And he worked for a Lego group for a long time, right?
He was there for, I think in total, well, see, the thing is that he spent a couple years working for NetDevil before he worked for Lego. Gotcha. But working for NetDevil was on behalf of Lego, so it's kind of weird. But I want to say he was right about the 5 to 8 year total. Okay. Yeah.
And you talked about him while you were talking about the ill-created game.
Yeah. Yep. And he'll come up a lot more as we get later and later on.
Hey, any chance we can get him on a show?
There might be a chance.
I would like that.
I won't rule it out.
I would like to see the guy that molded Kevin into what he is today.
He's definitely one of the mentors. He's one of the past avatars that makes me who I am.
There it is. He molded you in the mold.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So I guess this could be the tangent episode.
I mean, I'm maybe they just want to hear us talk. I don't know.
Maybe they do.
Maybe they don't. Go ahead.
No, please.
Oh, I was just gonna say where I'm at right now, and I'm not gonna build while we talk, but I am on bag 16 at a 40 on Hogwarts. If you haven't seen that, I'm gonna pimp my stuff real quick.
Go ahead.
Watch the other playlist. It's building Lego Hogwarts. Brittany came up with the name, and it did not have the hashtag. So I recommend to all my Harry Potter heads out there in Legoland, if you're building a Harry Potter set, or if you built a Harry Potter set, go ahead and use that hashtag, please. There's only 11 or 12 posts right now, and I'd love to see it blow up because I love owning Instagram. Not me specifically, but us as a Lego community. Also, I Could Eat is a Lego hashtag. Go check it out.
It is quite interesting. Oh, I Could Eat. That clearly means plastic building blocks.
What else could it be?
What
else could it be?
Exactly.
Yeah, it happens.
So
yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed having your friend on.
Yeah. Did you as my cohort, my partner in crime, did you have any reflections up to this point, or any questions that maybe I could before I continue on?
So collectively for all of the storyline.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I have a question. The Arizona store, and of course you're going to correct me and tell me exactly what city or mall it was in. What was it called?
The Chandler Fashion Center.
There you go. The Chandler Fashion whatever.
Yeah, it's center.
That was whatever. That was a full-blown store, not an outlet, right?
Right, correct.
Now, also, while we're talking, did Colorado ever get full store status, or did they put up a different one somewhere else in Colorado?
Well, both of those things happened.
What?
Yeah, both of those things happened. So for those of you that were listening to the elusive episode 14 with our special guest Reed Hope Castle,
we called it the Lost episode.
The Lost episode. Reed transferred to that second store that opened up in Colorado. That one was in the Park Meadows Mall. So yeah, there was a second location. So what's interesting enough is that I left Colorado, and they opened up a second Colorado location. So I mean, it was a lot easier to say, "Oh, I'm from the Colorado store," because there's one in the state.
Yeah.
And then I left, and then there was two. It didn't happen for actually a couple years after I left, but same thing happened in Arizona. There was one store in the state of Arizona, and then I moved a couple years later. Oh, there's two stores now.
Oh, I do. I have another follow-up question to that.
But to finish though, yes, another store opened. So there to this day there's two now.
Okay.
And yes, the original Colorado Mills location eventually dropped the outlet naming. They dropped the outlet look. They got totally, completely remodeled.
Yeah.
They're not in the same exact space in the mall they used to be, which I thought was a little bizarre because it was a very nice location. They could have easily remodeled the location they were in.
Okay.
But they're now in the space exactly opposite.
Oh.
So they're in the store that used to be, I believe it was an Oshkosh Bagosh.
Oh my God.
I want to say, and then it was vacant.
Yeah.
And then it was like a really kind of generic prom dressy kind of store.
You love those.
And then when I left, it was vacant again. And so now when you stand in the current Colorado Mills store and look out, you are looking at the old store, which is now a Nike store.
Hey, all right. So I knew if I let you keep talking, I was going to forget.
I'm sorry.
Who made assistant manager after you left Colorado?
Oh yeah. That's a good question. So after I left, the role was given to Jake Manley.
Oh, what a great name.
I mean, it is a great name. It really is.
Richard Manley would be better.
Yeah. So Jake was a really, really nice guy, and he was kind of one of those like out of left field hires. So he was a handyman. Definitely very, very skilled with like contract work and construction work and all that kind of stuff. He apparently had spent like a lifetime working in the toy industry. I guess he used to either own a toy store, like a mom and pop toy store, or he did something with the toy industry in some way. And he decided to really kind of pursue his dream, which was opening up like a freelance construction company, a contracting company to do carpentry work and stuff like that. And I guess that didn't work out the way he wanted it to. And it was starting to kind of buckle. So one day, it was so random. One day he was shopping in Colorado Mills Mall, and he was like, "What's this Lego store thing?" And he was in the store looking at Lego sets. And Eric, remember we mentioned Eric was my boss. I was not there, but he struck up a conversation with this guy, and he got some incredible bond or connection or something. And he's like, "I must hire this man."
Wow.
And so I remember he told this to me, and I'm like, "Eric, you are out of your mind. There's some random guy in your store, and you're like, I must hire him." So Jacob, he did have, so his full name was Jacob. We called him Jake. He had prior management experience from his old toy store like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
But so he was hired on as just an associate. He was a sales associate. He was really nice. Jacob was a really, really nice guy, and I worked with Jacob for a while. He was good with people. He was really good with like, people skills, customer service skills. And then I left, and Jacob went from associate to assistant manager. Obviously to the
supervisor.
To the disgruntledness of many people that were there.
Most of the supervisors.
Yeah. And so, Eric's rationale, which he definitely didn't need to give it to me or really to anybody.
Yeah. Did you even care?
Was that, Jacob was the only person in the store that had prior management experience.
Amen.
And he wanted to give it to an internal versus an external. And so he gave it to Jacob. And Jacob was a little nervous in the role. And he also could definitely sense the frustration of the people that were like, "Hey, you skipped all of us." Because he called me a couple times when I was in Arizona, just to talk. And I know that a couple times when he would call me, his questions were, "Kevin, Eric's done another thing, and I don't know how to deal with it." And I'm like, "Well, he does that." And so, a lot of his conversations were, "How did you approach this scenario when Eric would do this? And how would you approach that when he would do that?"
Furrowed brow. That's how you approached it.
Yeah. And so I didn't mind helping him. Like, "Yeah, sure. I'll talk to you." But then of course, what was a little awkward is, my buddy Colorado Dan, who I've mentioned before, who was a college friend of mine, he's still a friend to this day. I got him the job at the store when they were hiring, and he became a supervisor during my time. Right. He wanted to move up, and he could have totally done it. Absolutely. But so he was a little frustrated that he was skipped, but also Dan was a very close friend. Yeah. And so I'm talking to Dan all the time, and I'm like, "Yeah, Jacob called me." And Dan was not happy to know that the person who had apparently been better than him was needing to phone a friend every week. And I mean, that's not why I wasn't tattling. I was just like, "Oh yeah, we talk." And it was just conversation. He was like, Are you serious?" And he's like, "That's okay. All right. I'm not happy." I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry. That's not why I brought it up." But so Jacob took over for me as assistant manager, but he wasn't an assistant manager for very long. Okay. He only did it for, I want to say, maybe a year or less. Okay. And he got really frustrated, but then I think something else there was something personally that happened. Like he had a bunch of life changes. Like he bought a new house or he moved or something, or there was something with his wife and he was married, had kids. Something like major happened where I think he stepped away. He was like, I need to leave. And so he quit Lego. And then Eric gave the role to Reed. And that was kind of another one of those, like, everybody was like, whoa, what just happened? So I think at that point, I think my friend Dan was gone, I think. Because he stayed on for a couple of years after I left, but he was so flustered after it was all done. He's like, I'm done. I'm out of here. And there was one or two other people that I knew that were really solid supervisors that were there. But then it went to Reed. Pretty sure it was me, then Jacob, then Reed. And then it was Eric and Reed in Colorado Mills until the new store opened. And then Eric wanted to transfer because the new store was closer to his house. So a smaller, shorter commute. And he wanted to take Reed with him. So that happened.
Wow.
Good questions.
Hey, just hanging out. Just stuff we haven't specifically talked about in the great journey of the Hinkster.
Of the Hink.
The Hinkle. The Hinkster.
Indeed. And
devil deed. Yeah. What else were we at? What did we miss? That was another question I had. It was good or silly, one of the both.
Maybe it was both.
I think it might have been
good and silly.
Yeah. Bear with me. Everybody just watch Kevin.
Just watch me soar and
while I ponder this
query.
All right. What about lug status? You moved to Arizona.
Right. Yeah. So
what happened with the Denver? Is it cow lug?
Yep, cow lug. And there wasn't two lugs in Colorado at that time.
Right, of course.
There is now, but there wasn't.
More of 1812, they had to separate. No.
Right.
What?
Yes. So cow lug was the only lug in the state, and I was a member. I was a full-fledged member. And when I moved to Arizona, as silly as it sounds,
yeah.
I joined Cactus Brick through their website before I had even signed a lease to live somewhere in Arizona.
Well, that makes sense.
I mean, it's like, that's how you do it. That's your priorities.
But honestly, now, hold on. Now, I want to break this down real quick. Even the quote-unquote worst lug or Lego group in a place, like, of the worst amount of people, like the worst people, is still a connection and a safe place.
Sure.
For an AFOL.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. I could see, I could see a pile of AFOLs and I'm like, phew, feel good. I can talk to this person that I don't even know because they are me.
Yeah.
So, I'm just throwing that out there. So, I mean, sure. Absolutely sign up. Now you know people. Whether you know or not, you could just be like, hey, I'm Kevin.
So,
yeah.
And I had mentioned to them on their forum because I joined and then I got into the forum. And this is at the time, this was ASLUG, A-Z-Lug.
Right.
Which we talked about that people would constantly say it was ass slug, which is not PG. Yeah. So I had said on the forum, hey, I'd like to join. And I did all the kind of normal procedure for joining the lug and signing up for the mailing list, doing an introductory post.
Yeah.
And I did all that. And I wanted it, for me, it was very important that I did not mention in that very first introductory thing that I worked for Lego and I was going to be this new store manager of the Lego store there. I just wanted it to be, I'm a fan, you're fans, I want to meet the group, I want to join. Thank you. Looking forward to working with you guys.
Yeah, I got a follow-up.
And then it was, I did follow up saying, yes, I'm also the store manager. And that's why they knew when I did that very first visit that they knew who I was.
All right. In your history of being not only an employee of, but also a lug member, how how does that affect your friendships? And had you ever run across any people that just wanted to use you for your position?
Sure. Thankfully, it hasn't come up as often as you would fear.
Yeah.
I really can only recall. Oh.
Now, is that just because you're a nice guy and you didn't realize people are trying to get over on you?
Hey, that might have been a reality.
I mean, I'm just saying, because I thought about doing it to you a few times.
That's nice of you.
Kidding.
You know, I really can't think of anybody that even asked, like, can I buy something with your discount, or could you help me out?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think it came up. I don't think. I mean, I think the if you want to call it like a request information, like they would ask, like, oh, hey, right, because you work.
Oh no, that's totally different.
Yeah, and the information was usually not even anything that's like super juicy. It's just like, do you know when that giveaway is going to be? And it's like, yeah, it's this date to this date, stuff like that. But no, it was never really a big deal. I don't think. If anything, it was actually usually very helpful because the stores. And again, I try not to characterize them all because they're all different. But
sure,
a lot of the stores that I've interacted with, Lego stores and their management teams, are interesting because on one hand, they can be super critical of the AFO community. Like, oh, they just complain, they're needy, they're in the store all the time, and they just want to talk. And on the other hand, they're like, oh, wow, sales are slow. Where are the AFOs today? They need to come in and spend some money. And it's like, all right, you don't get one and not the other.
Yeah.
It's
almost have something bouncing off of that whenever you're done.
No, that's so that was something that would be weird is that, it'd be like, well, hopefully they don't show up today. Oh, where are they? So it would be helpful if I was a member.
Yeah.
Because those would come up with like, hey, Kevin, we know you're a member. Would you mind shooting out an email letting them know we have stuff for sale? Kind of like if you remember a long time ago, I talked about that giant sale of ridiculous stuff in the Colorado store.
Yeah.
And they were like, Kevin, can you please inform the community? And that you can't do that if you don't know these people. But yeah, go. What's your thought?
I have found, and this is just, I don't have very much interaction with the Lego company, the Lego group themselves, but I have been told by AFOLs galore that that individually, like from there he is, individually from name that fig, not you, Kevin. People down in the chat.
Here, I'll show it again. I'll keep it up for a minute.
Don't rip his hands off yet.
Not yet.
Kevin, I thought I taught you better than this. There, get your face out of there. There it is. Boom. That's what's up. Got that good back printing.
Oh yeah.
I was told that individually, like low level employees are like absolutely the best, some of the best people to deal with. And but when it comes down to it, as a consensus of the company, it's like, ew, gross, go away. Nobody wants an AFOL. Go away from us.
Yeah.
And I feel like that it's pretty much true, but whatever.
Yeah, again, like I said, I don't want to characterize all the stores,
You can't. We know they're all different.
But yeah, it's unfortunately more often than not, there's a little truth to these stories, and yeah, a lot of the associates are just truly wonderful people.
No doubt.
The boots on the ground, they are the foundation of these stores. They're really kind. They know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. They often understand the importance of the community as folks that are very vocal into a lot of things. That doesn't mean just negative, like vocal in customer service in terms of promoting a Lego store versus a Target when you're talking at a show, things like that. And then when you kind of get higher up in the chain, it seems like that information is lost. And when you start dealing with some of the supervisors, some of the assistant managers, some of the managers, and definitely when you start getting into the district manager and the regional manager, like, it becomes more of a nuisance. It's like, oh yeah, the AFOLs are complaining again. And that's kind of one of those things where I get so salty hearing that kind of stuff.
Sure.
It's like, oh, they're complaining again. It's like, well, and I used to really kind of hammer back with some good quips in my day, where it'd be like, well, the AFOLs are saying whatever, insert example here.
Yeah.
And they would be looking to me for some kind of answer or guidance or whatever. And I would say, again, we're skipping ahead to me in the community manager days.
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, well, isn't that a customer? And they're like, well, but there's an AFOL. I'm like, that's not what I asked you. Isn't that a customer?
All right.
Well, yeah. I'm like, well, what would you do if it was a customer? Oh, well, we would, do this and give them the money back. I'm like, then why are you asking if you should do that or something different? Because the person is a self-proclaimed adult fan. Like, I don't understand. Like, I would always push back on that kind of stuff, going, why are you trying to seek out a special exemption or a special procedure to something that's just like, who cares? Right. Who cares if that person walked in with a classic space shirt on? They're still a customer. Yeah. And if they have either a complaint or a question, why are you treating them, or why are you more bothered than by a little Johnny walking in or Johnny's grandmother walking in? And I don't get it. Like that would never hold weight with me.
Yeah.
Like, never.
And that also comes with buying limits. And yeah, but I've had several friends, and it wasn't just Lego. It was any store that was selling Lego. Oh, no, you can't have this many of those things. And I'm not talking. And here's the thing. I'm not even talking about resellers.
Sure.
I'm talking about good old American brick city builders who wanted 30, had the money for 30, needed 30 because it was cheaper than Bricklink and what's the parts and what is it?
Bricks and Pieces.
That one, yeah.
Yep.
And I find it terrible that Lego just let go, Lego. Just let us do what we want to do. Just keep making.
It's there's unfortunately quite a disconnect between many heads of the Hydra, if you will. And one of my major goals, which I set for myself, I don't say that to brag. Like I did because no one was setting it for me, and it needed to be set. Was to try to educate my fellow colleague. And so one of the things that I did, again, jumping ahead in my tale, one of the things I did when I moved to the corporate office in Connecticut in 2011, I went through a new hire orientation, which I thought was a little silly because I'm like, I've already been here for like 6 years.
Right.
But they said it was a good idea because I was new to the office environment and new to the campus and new to the area. And I said, all right, fine, whatever, I'm game. And so I took it. It was pretty extensive. It was a 2.5 day thing.
Oh, wow.
And you get, quote, a presentation from every department in the company.
Oh, my.
And I'm like, interesting. And you also get a lot of speakers from all over the place and high-level speakers, too, like vice presidents and stuff like that. And one of the things, because everyone's new, is there was 2.5 days of, could we just go around the room real quick and everyone tell us your name and what area you're joining? And so the thing that really bothered me is that every time this happened, hi, my name is Kevin. I am new here to Infield, but I've actually been with Lego for a couple of years, and I'm joining the community team. And then I would sit down, and every single time the speaker would go, I'm sorry, what team are you joining? I'm joining the community team. The what? The community team. What's the community team?
Wow.
It's the area that works with Lego fans. Who's your boss? I was hired by Jim Folds. I don't know who that is. Who's his boss? Like, I swear to you, for 2.5 days, every single person, that transaction just happened.
Wow.
And I sat there and I did this. Don't get me wrong. It was a great 2.5 days. I learned a lot. And I sat there.
Your t-shirt on day 2.
And the day it ended,
I
went over to the HR lady who ran it. And I said, hey, thanks for all your effort putting that together. I thought it was really good. How do I become a presenter next time? And she was like, oh, really? And I said, well, I think if I learned anything from this is that no one knows what I do. And I think that's a miss. And I I think the adult Lego fans impact or touch every single aspect of this entire business.
Oh yeah.
And I think it would be worth my time to spend 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And she was like, this has never happened before. Yeah, you could talk in the next one. And so from then on until I left in 2017, every quarter, because it was a quarterly thing.
Yeah.
Every quarter for years, I went and I spoke about who is the Lego community team, what are adult fans, and I tried to do that everywhere I could. I said, is there an opportunity where I can teach people the reality of what it's like to have Lego fans that are adults, and just kind of tear down these negative misconceptions, because like what you just said, like your good old John Q city builder, right?
Yep.
One of the 30
sets.
And see, that was the thing, is I was in a lot of meetings where you have a lot of different representatives of different areas of the business: marketing, customer service, Lego brand retail, the e-commerce team, the fraud team, and they're talking about a new set is launching, like a new big set, not like a city set, like a creator expert modular is coming out.
Gotcha.
And we need to all gather around the table and we need to talk about, is there going to be a limit? How many are we going to put the limit on? Is there a gift with purchase this time? Is there been any PR news about it? Has there, like, there's a bunch of like thoughts to go into this to get it ready to click launch, and then we all walk away and people buy it. And I, for many years, was not invited to that meeting. And I eventually found out about it and said, could I please have a seat at the table? Because I think as a representative of a group of people that are probably the people you are selling these items to,
Amen,
I think I would have some value to the table. And so they agreed and they let me in. And I would be sitting there and people would be like, well, sometimes it'd be like a smaller thing, like not necessarily like a giant modular, but still maybe an exclusive product.
Sure.
And they'd be like, well, I think we're comfortable putting the limit at 1 because no one's going to want 2 of those. And I would sit there and go, I'm sorry, may I interject? I could probably give you a name of 50 people that will want 3 on launch.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, well, why would you want multiples of that? And I would sit there and have to dissect a set apart on why certain elements and certain colors or certain minifigures or the building potential, or, you know, like I remember having I took over a meeting.
Good.
To explain why soccer balls were important.
Jeez.
And you know, and of course, people in the community know, GBC, great ball contraption,
right?
This whole conversation. But I remember that the soccer ball element had spent a couple years, maybe 2 or 3 years, 100% out of production. There was no soccer ball.
Wow.
And then Lego Friends, if you recall, started experimenting in like sports genre. So the Lego Friends girls were playing.
Stephanie's soccer practice was Emily's part off with Andrew's pet wash. Those 2 sets were Emily's first 2 Lego sets.
That's awesome.
So yes, I am very aware of that orange basketball soccer ball.
Yeah, I mean the mold is a basketball, I think, because it has a soccer ball because it has the lines. But yeah, I mean, I sat there and I go, we were talking about like the wave. Like if it was a smaller set, not like a new modular building, you could talk about it in terms of a wave, like all the new superhero sets are coming out, or so we were talking about the Friends sets. And I was like, oh, you guys have no idea the impact of this soccer ball element coming back into production in this set. Sure. And they didn't. They had no clue what I was talking about. And so I had to sit there and talk about the repercussions of that. Yeah. Like, yes, I get it. It's a box. There's a soccer ball in it. But you need to understand that element is now in production, which means now it will be available in lug bulk, which means now people are like, there's all these things that happen and you don't understand. And like, well, why would anyone want multiples of that? Like, because it has soccer balls in it.
Yeah.
And people want multiples and they'll part out the rest of it. They'll sell the rest of it.
Those nice, pretty colors. I had a quick question about, and you can answer this as part of that. Did anybody get fired because of Wald?
Because of with a broken neck?
Yeah.
No, nobody got fired.
Oh.
See, that's the wonderful thing. Well, wonderful. It's part of. If you've learned anything from me over these last couple episodes, I love sarcasm.
Do you?
There were so many times in my 12 years where really, really bad decisions were made. And I mean bad, just wow, really? There was lots of times where people did questionable behavior. I'm like, okay, that's a good brand ambassador. All right. And those are the people that never were disciplined, never had it. I mean, if anything, they were usually promoted or they moved up in the chain or whatever. That's an interesting tangent, but yeah, Wally was fun. And the Wally was a little bit of a victim of his own success. Because I mean, that's the thing with Lego Ideas, and it's gotten a lot better over the years, but Lego Ideas, Lego Cuso was all about speed. And it's because, as opposed to the normal Lego process, when maybe through a leak you find out about a new set coming out next year.
Yeah.
Maybe you're looking one season ahead. With Lego Ideas, you can know a year, if not a year and a half, that a set's coming. And it's actually an interesting algorithm and marketing when you look at consumer knowledge about a set being so far out in advance that your interest fades. And you go, oh my God, I have to have this at launch. But then 1 month turns into 6 months, turns into 8 months, turns into 10 months. You forget about it. You go, oh, never mind. I don't want it anymore. And that's kind of
about them Flintstones.
It's kind of dangerous. So Lego Ideas is all about get it done, get it fast, get it out, because people know about it so much earlier than normal. And sometimes that speed, you make mistakes when you go fast.
Oh yeah.
And Lego has a very rigorous process of Q&A testing and focus testing and another focus testing and another, and sometimes you gotta cut some corners to get stuff out as fast as you can. So that happened with that guy.
Hey, I got a weird question for you. This one's awkward. This one you can shy away from this one if you'd like. If you do or don't know anything.
Okay.
If you don't want to answer it, you can be like, I don't know anything about that.
These are the juicy ones, ladies and gentlemen.
It has to do with an AFOL.
It has to do with an AFOL?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
A specific AFOL. Because we were talking about Cuso or ideas.
Yeah.
Do you know anything? And I do not believe for 1 second you've been nice bridge. I don't believe you had anything to do with it, and I don't know if it would even be in your wheelhouse to have anything to do with it. A lady named Brick Queen got kicked out of Cuso or ideas for what Lego sent her a letter saying something to this is weird, something to the effect that you have accounts and you're abusing the system, blah blah blah. Now, I personally don't think that, and this is just off a hunch. I don't feel like she was abusing it, but Lego said she was. What do you know, or do you know nothing?
I know everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to gauge how if I want to embark on that in such a public setting. I will say that
you should have just said nothing and walked away.
Well, no, but see, if you know anything about me, is that Kevin doesn't lie. I'm not a liar.
I know you're not a liar, but I gave you the out. I know
you did. But I can't do it because you know what? You guys deserve to know truth and honesty. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm comfortable with it, but
I want you to be as uncomfortable about the company as possible. Now, personally, Brick Queen, I have nothing bad to say about her, directly or indirectly. I don't know her. She puts the content out.
There you go. Yeah. So, as odd as it is, I've always kind of found it odd. Almost up until the day I left, probably still to this day, people meaning the community, don't seem to realize that Lego Ideas is owned and operated from the Lego community team.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Yeah, this is not my Batman glass.
Who'd you work for?
The Lego community team.
So,
yes.
I had no idea, Kevin.
Well, and see, that's fair.
That will not go on there, Kevin.
So, I just found it kind of interesting because if you really examine it, it makes sense, but I can understand from a perspective of, man, Lego does a lot of things that don't make a lot of sense. So right. I can understand and appreciate that people would default to, there's no way that exists in the community team, because that seems like a typical Lego maneuver, is to have it not live in the community team. Because you think about it, what is it? It's a site that crowdsources ideas from Lego fans. That should live in the community team. But you think, oh, but it's Lego, so it probably doesn't. I mean, that's what I would think.
Yeah.
But it actually does. It is always. Lego Ideas has always been owned by the community team. Lego Kuso was not. So Lego Kuso, was that pilot program where they were crowdsourcing only in Japan. And that was with Kuso, which Kuso is a different company. So Lego Kuso was two different companies working together to pilot a program.
That's more than I knew. That's more than I knew.
Yeah, so that was actually owned by a different business area within Lego. And then when they said, hey, this pilot works, you should do it all over the world, we're going to, in another kind of weird Lego maneuver that they do, we're going to sever our relationship with this company that helped us learn how to do this. And just do it all ourselves. That's like, all right, well, that's one way you make friends. And so we're going to call it Lego Ideas, and that is going to transition over into your area of the business. And so Lego Ideas, from its birth, has lived in the Lego community team. So my old boss's boss, which was the director of the Lego community. Oh my God, there's been so many names over the years. I mean, everyone knows it as the community team. That's just what you call it. But that has never at all been what it's been called internally. It's been, when I first moved there, it was Community Engagement and Events. And then it was called Community Engagement and Communication. Then it was called Lego Community, Lego Community and Events. And I mean, all these acronyms, and nobody ever remembered them, and it didn't mean anything. But so Lego Ideas was owned and operated from my department, meaning I was very privy to everything happening in Lego Ideas. Either if it was just in a team meeting where everyone's getting a brief on what's the next thing coming out, or what is the current review period shaping up, or major issues such as the one you were talking about have arisen. They would
Brick Queen for you guys that are joining us.
They would give us an update on what's happening and why. And I have to give credit on that one, because when that issue came up, it was very, very just factual based. And they said, here, dear department, here's all the facts, here's all the data, here's all the evidence, just so you know, we will be taking this action. Does anyone disagree? And me not having any skin in the game anywhere, I'm like, yep, that's pretty clear. I'm like, all right. And so then they did. They took the action, and they set up from the beginning. They said, we don't know if there will be backlash because this person has a following.
Yeah.
And the following will more than likely side with the person.
Sure.
And they will say, I mean, that's what happens when you build a good relationship with people.
Try to, really.
And they said, so there will be backlash. And because, we believe in privacy and we believe in all of these terms of service agreements that we've made these people sign, we want to follow it ourselves. And we're not going to share with everybody else. We will only share with the person who's affected, why they've been affected. And so they told all of us, all the other people in the department, they said, if you're asked, don't talk about it because that would violate what we're trying to do. And I said, oh, that's fair.
That is fair.
And so, Brick Queen was affected, and Brick Queen was told why. The rest of the internet was not.
Right. Sure.
And of course, it's her prerogative if she wants to share or not. And they said that in the meeting. They said if she wants to post the letter on the internet, okay. But I saw all the data, and I said, well, all right, sounds like a good action to me. So
now, at any point and I guess is she ever going to be able to play with Lego ideas ever again? Lego as what you left, because I mean, you don't. Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't think so. I think when you're banned, and then you're just out. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's that.
I always want to give everybody a second chance, and I don't. Like I said, I don't know if she did anything wrong specifically. And, I wasn't in the room, and I don't have any of the facts.
Sure,
but I still.
I can hear you, man. Second chances are good.
Yeah. I ain't mad at you or mad at your group for doing what they did. I just,
Yeah, I hear you.
Yep.
And it's come up. I mean, it actually has. I will say something that was impressive.
Yeah.
Was her community of fans did respond, and it was the first time, I think, ever, maybe.
Okay.
That there were hundreds of phone calls to customer service.
No.
On behalf of her community of fans. And that was different. And so they were all logging their complaint with the Lego group for taking the action it took. And there was like petitions started and stuff. I mean, there's always petitions started.
Sure, of course.
There was a petition started to get me fired, which we'll get into one day.
Get fired?
Yeah, get fired. There was a petition. Get Kevin fired.
Get Kevin fired.
Which was
Kevin fired.
Which was shared with me, which was interesting. Because somebody was like, Kevin, I wanted you to see this. This is really bizarre, but I felt like you should probably see this. And I was like, oh, all right, interesting. But that was a different thing. There was a lot of phone calls. And all those phone calls, they took a very PR response and gave them a very, like the answer I gave you.
Yeah,
fluffy, and they did that, but they never officially shared with all the rest of the world their decision, and that's how that is.
Wow.
But yeah, I've been asked over the years, like, hey, so what's the deal with it? I was like, well, I'm gonna stick with it and just.
I'm sorry for like hitting you like that real hard.
It's all right. It's all good.
But I feel like this is a safe place.
This is a safe. We're gonna make like one of those like bully free zone posters that they have in the schools. We'll make one with our faces on it.
There you go. But Kevin, I really enjoyed the Q&A between you and me, and the banter and the shuffling of bricks.
And now the intro's over, so now we can start the episode.
It is now. Shut up, Kevin. My bladder's only so big. There he is. There he is. By the way, Kevin, you were on the big screen the whole time, but now it's both of us again.
Nice.
Yeah. I feel like this was a very successful and impromptu episode.
It was impromptu.
I do like the fact that we have the ability, after all these months and months and months,
yeah,
to push up at the wall and watch it stick.
Yep. Yeah.
To fly by the seat of our pants, and
I mean, anybody that's watching, if you guys have questions for me or Julian,
we talk about that sometimes.
Put them in there. Let us know. I mean, like I said, even if it's a weird or awkward or uncomfortable question, I'll try my best to answer it.
Yeah, and I'll just laugh at him and gawk at him.
That's
Kevin. I'm trying to look back and see when the first episode aired.
Oh, and also,
yeah, man.
I mean, we're gonna have a couple more episodes before then, but my flight was just booked for Alabama. So if anyone's going to Brick Fair Birmingham in a month,
Umi. Me and Jamie were just talking about that on the phone this very evening.
Are you for sure? Are you for sure?
Jamie's driving, and I'm getting Christmas money, and I'm buying my ticket with that.
Okay, nice.
You got to pay for lunch. So
I could pay for lunch. That's fine.
You got to pay.
Yeah, so I'll be at Brick Fair, Alabama the entire time. I will be there. I think I'm flying in on Tuesday. No. Monday, I think. And then I'll be there because I am part of the Brick Fair Move crew, so I will be setting up and tearing down the event.
Nice.
With Todd, who owns the event, and the other. I think there's 5 people on the Move crew this time. So if anybody wants to come by and see anybody, we'd love to have you.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I'm also looking forward to this, even though I will probably be exhausted. Monday and Tuesday, I will be heading up to Brick Vibe HQ in Nashville and seeing the mysterious Brick Vibe headquarters. And I think, if all goes according to plan, there will be a Hoosier meetup as well. So it's like a Brick Fair after party.
I like it, man. Maybe we should play hooky and just go on up there with you. We're going to be there the last. Now, Brickbender is presenting, and Kevin, he better win for the Deep South Lug.
Oh, you mean like displaying a build?
Correct.
I thought when you said presenting, I thought he was doing a presentation. Like, what is he presenting?
That would be great, but yeah. So, yeah, he's going to be displaying, which is going to be the first time anybody displayed under the Deep South Lug name.
First time ever?
First time ever. I'm also going to bring the Hogwarts apartment complex to sit next to. I'm not asking the people at Brick Fair, Alabama. If I can, I'm just going to show up on the public page next to
That's fine.
Hey. And Bricksmith does what Bricksmith wants to do.
Bricksmith is like the tide.
There it is.
You can't control him. All you can do is just watch.
I'd like to make a quick announcement. The first episode of Forever Sorting with Kevin and Hinkle aired on July 22nd, 2018. The year of our Lord, 2018.
Was that like 20 years ago?
It feels like a long time. It feels like we've been and we also broke 300 views on that video.
That first one? Yeah.
Yeah, which is phenomenal for this channel, which is, let's do the math here. If we have 1,000 subscribers and 300 views, that means that 30% of our viewers, or 30% of the subscribers watch the video.
Don't forget to carry the 2.
And divide by 4.
Always carry the 2.
Oh, with that being said, though, that's actually pretty decent, and we had almost a third watch time.
Nice. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
That
happened. There's
the cherry sour residue on my tongue.
Very nice. Very nice.
So we appreciate you cutting up with us tonight. Me and Kevin, we have twinsies. They're Marios. Mine's way older than his. You have to talk.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I have to say something. Mario.
It's me. So, and also, again, the building show, if it's already done by the time this airs, which it probably will be, go back and watch that playlist for me. I need the minutes watched. Be your Christmas present to me.
Nice. Merry Christmas. Oh, yeah, because it's December 23rd today.
It is December 23rd.
Yeah, so
Christmas Eve. The day after that's Christmas Day. The day after that starts Kwanzaa and Boxing Day, and we've already had Kwanzaa.
I love it. I love it. And I wasn't joking. If you guys remember, tomorrow really is my birthday. So it's a good time.
It really, really is. This poor child.
I will be 33.
Yeah. I'm telling Brittany that your birthday was this month, and she's like, really? And I was like, yeah.
Christmas Eve.
There it is.
And I love it because even now, today, still, when people are like, when's your birthday? Like Todd needed, when he was booking my flight, he needed my birthday. And I've told Todd my birthday probably 500 times. And I'm like, December 24th. And he goes, oh, yeah. Oh, I always remember that. And then I forget it again. Like, I'm like, dude, that's the story of my life. It's like everyone remembers and then forgets.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was the 22nd to 23rd or the 24th.
Oh, no, it is the day before Christmas.
It is absolutely the day. By the way, folks, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Smith family, we celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve and then do an extended family Christmas on Christmas Day. Why? Because we can and we like it that way. So when it's Kevin's birthday, I'll be opening my present. Oh wait, I already did.
Can you reopen it again?
I think I might just Hulk smash it and rebuild it.
Since you still have the box, you could do one of those like fancy edits where you just take the box up and the model's built underneath it. Like you unwrap it and it's a box and you go, oh, and then you just take the box up and it's a
Your mistake was you said edit.
Well, all right. Maybe you don't even need to edit it. If you might have to manipulate the box though. That might be a thing.
But
all right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
I'm Brooke Smith.
I'm Kevin. This is Hulk.
That's
Mario.
It's empty. Mario's back there.
There's a pink bucket.
Yeah, there's a Rocky.
And Metalbeard. And remember,
you gotta love those bricks.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, you gotta sort those bricks. Sorry, Brick Jams. I did it again.
We did it again.
Yep. Bye.